the third edition of the Aswan Forum for Sustainable Peace and Development brought different stakeholders, including the UN Secretary General, to deliberate on multiple crises and, of course, currently facing the continent, especially food insecurity and climate change. Now, African leaders and stakeholders in the two-day convergence in Egypt capital Cairo urged developed countries to fulfill their commitment to support the continent's response to the growing environmental challenges. The North African nation is scheduled to host this year's United Nations Climate Change Conference COP27. Here's more details of that in this report.
The third edition of the Aswan Forum comes at a time when Africa is facing major challenges. Though young, the forum is quickly gaining the attention of global and regional leaders. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Secretary General of the United Nations Antonio Guterres, and Chairperson of the African Union Commission Moussa Faki were among the figures that joined the hybrid meeting digitally. Focusing on Africa's road for a resilient, peaceful and sustainable continent, food security topped the talks during the first day of the forum. Participants also focused on adaptation and mitigation measures for climate change, which is a pressing challenge in agricultural development. African leaders and experts meeting in Cairo called on the developed world to honor their commitment to help the continent face environmental issues.
In COP21 in Paris, there was an agreement, a commitment that 80% of the financing will be coming from global climate finance. And what we find from our models is that Africa requires a 1.6 trillion US dollars between now and 2030 to implement those INDCs successfully. But then we are receiving currently 18.3 billion US dollars annually. So if you look at it, the average requirement for Africa is about 127 billion US dollars annually to implement the INDCs. We are receiving 18.3 billion annually. So we have a climate finance gap of 118 billion US dollars.
Egypt is hosting the United Nations Climate Change Conference COP27 this year. The outcomes of this two-day meeting will be included in the agenda of the summit for world leaders to discuss during the conference this November. By creating the Aswan Forum, Egypt wanted to boost African cooperation in finding solutions for common challenges. With the Russian-Ukrainian crisis fueling food insecurity in the region and the ongoing economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on African economies, along with the conflicts in Africa, this is by far the most important edition of the Aswan Forum yet.